In today's tutorial, let me show you how to do modified front post trebles, just like you see here. There's actually two different colors being used throughout this particular part of the sample, and you can see that it comes down and jumps in front and creates a beautiful textured look. In today's tutorial, I'm going to cover that next. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be able to show you the stitch that I just talked about. And what we have is an example of all of the stitches being used at the same time in a particular sample. So what I've done with the white here, those are all the single crochets. So we have double crochets, half double crochets, we have crisscross, we have bobbles, front post, modified front post trebles here. We have the herringbone stitch here, and then we have the seed stitch right here in the back. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be covering the particular stitch that is listed in this particular video. I'm going to show you how to do it, but this is example how all of those particular stitches can work together in order to create a really amazing afghan. Now this afghan does have a front and the back side. You can also use this particular kind of sample for doing scarves, and really the sky is the limit, and in today's tutorial I'm going to explain a little bit more about how you can customize this in order to do a project of your own. So here's what it looks like, and we have our example. It's going up and down, and this is just a small swatch. So I had to do a small swatch in order to figure out all the math for you. I have figured this all the way out from a scarf size just like this all the way to a king size afghan. I've done the math for you to tell you exact chain count, but I want to make this an educational video because it's just easier to give you that information. But if you don't really understand it, then what's the point, right? That's a video tutorial. So what we have is that each chevron equals a certain amount of chain stitches, and in my particular pattern 28 chains will take you from one point all the way to the next, just like you see here. And so then we have side edges that are a portion of just a section of each side. So what we have here, in order to get one chevron you have to do 28 chains, and then to stay in balance you have to add an extra 18 to your list. So what we have here is that if you were ever to customize this and say that you wanted to do a different size, you would crochet in multiples of 28. So for example, let's say I wanted 3 chevrons. You would go 3 times 28 stitches. Okay, that'll give you a certain amount, and then you will add 18 extra chains at the end of that in order to stay in balance. So it's just a very easy way. Now on my website I have figured out all those particular chains to start for all of them. Now you're gonna think to yourself, wow, some of those chains are huge, and they are huge, but you have to compensate that when you go up and down like so, is that it's not really like 100 chains straight across. It's, if you did 100 chains straight across it would be longer, but because you are going in an up and down motion you need more chains in order to maintain that, and that's why there's so many extra chains. So on my website I have all of that information for you, but if you want to customize it, the secret answer is 28 for every one of the chevrons, and then you just have to add 18 chains at the very end in order to get your sides to be equal. You should also keep in mind that this afghan sample is a one-sided sample. Not all of these stitches look great on the other side. So the bobble stitch, for example, it does not exist on the underside. Okay, you'll see that it's completely flat, and also with the crisscross appears better in the front side than it does in the back side. So when you're doing this particular project I'm going to be telling you what is your front side and what is your back side so that you can know exactly where to start. Some of these stitches you have to start on the back side. It's called the wrong side technically in crochet, but you have to start on the back side. For example, bobbins or bobbles like this only appear on the opposite. So as you crochet the bobbles pop in behind. So if I was to bobble along here in this direction, the bobbles would appear on the back side. So every time I do a bobble I actually have to work on the back side so that it does pop out to the front side. So some of these stitches are just like that. The herringbone is like that. The modified front post trebles are like that. A lot of the half double crochets, single crochets, and double crochets did I say that already? Those don't matter, but you have to just be conscious. So in the particular pattern I'm about to show you, I'm going to have you mark what is the front side, what is the back side, so that if you have to adjust and you have to know that, then you'll know it right from the very beginning. So let's just quickly review. It's going to be a 5mm size H crochet hook. I've used Caron Simply Soft throughout this whole thing. That the beautiful colors are from that particular line. So this is going to be a generic intro on all of the 8 different videos because I'm going to show you how to get started. So you'll see here the blue is how I got started. You can see I did a perimeter in white, so that's kind of added in afterward. But all of the intros for all of these 8 are exactly identical, and then once we start from that point we're going to then take you through all of the different examples, and those are each listed as an individual video because you may not want to mix it and match just like so. This is also part of the Stitches Right game that we're doing on YouTube as well as Facebook, and we're just having fun of mixing and matching stitches at random, and that's how this sample has come to be. So without further ado, let's move on to the example that we want to teach you in today's tutorial. So let's get started. We're going to get you to do the first layer, and it'll be the chain, plus we will also start then the double crochets, and then from this point then forward we then move on to the example that is listed within today's tutorial. And insert that onto my hook. So we have in the instructions in our website all the different chains that you would need for your size of project that you want to go. But today I'm going to show you a swatch sample. So as I mentioned, there's 28 chains in one chevron plus 18, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to chain 28. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So in 28 this is one chevron. Okay, this is without any sides on it at all. So that's one chevron. So I said that there has to be sides on it. So we're going to add another 18 chains. So let's add 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So if you were doing multiples, so you would have done multiples of 28, and at the very end you'll add in your 18 in order to keep it in balance. So now I have one chevron and I have enough chains to do both sides of the project. Let's move on to the next step. So now that you've gone all the way across, we're now going to start, and we're gonna get our chevron to be working right away. So we're going to count back from the to the 4th chain. So count under. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the chain over, get the back hump only, and double crochet into that. And this will create a beautiful finish on the other side of on the bottom, and double crochet. So the chaining of 3 and the double crochet would count as one stitch into the same one, and this matters down in the future. So the next 5 are going to be 1 double crochet each. So let's count that out loud. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So what I like to do when I'm in this particular stage, I like to look at it. So the first 2 are together. They're into the same stitch. So there should be 5 double crochets by themselves, and there are. So that is going to be the side. So that this is going to be the side in a down direction like this. The next 3 are going to be 3 double crochets together. So how to do that is that you wrap the hook, and going into the next chain is that going in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then hold. And you're going to do that 2 more times. So yarn over, go to the next stitch, in, yarn over, pull through 2, and hold. So now you got 2 there. You got to do it one more time. So yarn over, pull through 2, and hold. You should have 4 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops. And so now 3 double crochets just became together as one, and this is going to be the coming down and then turning and going back up in the other direction like that. So that's how you do 3 together. The next 12 on your chain are going to be each double crochet, and let's count that out loud. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this will always exist when you're going in an up direction. So if your chain was a lot longer, every time that you finish a 3 together, the next section will all be 12 by itself. And I like to just double check and count. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So once you get your 12 in, the next one will be 3 double crochets into the same one, and this is the top of the chevron. So every time you get to a top of a chevron, there will always be 3 double crochets when you're moving across the first row. So every time you're gonna move in the down direction now until you get to the other side, is that there will be 12 double crochets by themselves. So we went up on the other side with 12 going up, but now you're gonna go 12 going down. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So do you get that? So every chevron going in the up direction is going to have 12 by themselves. At the top you'll have 3 into the same one, and then there'll be 12 going down the other side. So I'm gonna count that 12 going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So now we're at the bottom again. So the next 3 are going to be 3 together. Okay, and you just do it how I showed you before. So you just gather them up, and the 3 will be together. So if your chain's a lot longer, the next section would be going 12 going back up, and then your 3 at the top, and then 12 going back down, and you keep doing that until you get to the last little section just like this. So what you're going to do then in the final here is that the next 5 will be 1 double crochet each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this will leave you with 1 extra stitch which you're supposed to have, and the final that you have will have 2 double crochets in it. And if I can just grab your attention before you take off on me here. So at the very first, remember how we did that the chain 3 and the double crochet counts at 1. So on the other side, the 2 being in there counts into 1 stitch as well. So this is what it would look like, but your sample would obviously be a lot longer, but you have the up and down motion now ready, and now we can move on. But before we move on, what I want you to do is that I want you to grab a spare piece of yarn, and that spare piece of yarn is going to act as a stitch marker. So using a piece of stitch marker and just a piece of yarn, what I want you to do, the side that you just want to cross on, I want you just in the edge here, and I want you just to insert your hook in behind just a piece of the strand and just bring the yarn through. And this is just a stitch holder. This is just going to tell you that every time you do anything, you will know what is the front side and what is the back side, because once you get onto these projects, sometimes it gets really confusing what is front and what is back. Okay, so this stitch marker right in the front will always tell me that this is always going to be the front side. The next part of this tutorial we're going to start, and you're either going to have to watch out for the stitch marker, whether it's on the front or the back side, and some of these stitches it doesn't even matter, but just do that because it just makes it a lot more sense. So let's move along and do the next part. let's begin the modified front post treble. So the modified front post treble here is, you can see that there's two different colors being used, and this is a pattern that requires you to have these on the front side of the work. So you have to be very conscientious, especially in the Stitches Right game, is that you have to end up with these, because if you look at the back side it doesn't exist. Okay, so it's a front sided pattern. So what we need to do is that when we go to look at this right here, if you're doing the Stitches Right game, you have to be, or any other kinds of Afghans with this particular stitch, you have to make sure that the modified front post treble is going to stay on the front side. So for the game you have to make sure you turn your work and that the front side is facing away from you, so you're looking at the back side first when starting this particular stitch. Let's grab up our yarn and we're going to do double crochets going across when using the same chevron thing pattern. So we're going to carry on. So the very first one we're going to attach. So we're doing it, we're looking at the back side right now when we go to do this one here, and just join it and chaining at 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and you're going to double crochet into that same space that you joined with, and so that'll be your 2 double crochets at the end. Now we're going to move down just like you did we've done before in other tutorials with this. There will be 5 double crochets by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So at the very base here, you see how there's all coming together. Okay, so that's the middle one here, and there's one on either side. These 3 are together. So you yarn over, insert in, pull through 2 and hold, yarn in to the next one, yarn over, sorry, going to the next one, pull through 2 and hold, yarn over, going into the next one, pull through 2 and hold. You now have your 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, and now we're going to move up, and going in the up direction there's going to be 12 double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10, 11 and 12. So I've got 12 going in the up. Now I can tell I've got 12 going in the up because you can see how the middle are all together. The next one is the exact middle, and this is my final 12, so I know I'm right, and the next one will be 3 double crochets right in the middle. Just like that, and we can come down then. So now anytime we move up from the base going upward, there'll always be 12, and now there's always going to be 12 then going down on the other side of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so you have your base right here again. So you can see there's the middle one here, and then there's one on either side. Those 3 are going to be together. So you can either count it if you feel confident. You don't have to, and just look for it. Okay, put the 3 together, and now you would go up 12 then if you were carrying along. At the top you'll put in your 3 and then 12 going down, and you'll do that all the way across until the very end, and then on the end you'll put in your 5 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then the final turning chain here will have 2 double crochets in it. Okay, so that keeps it in balance on the edges, just like that. Okay, so that is the first part here, and let's turn our work and show you how to do the modified treble, and that's next. So we're going to turn our work. Now we have a crochet diagram available to you on our website if you need that, and that'll be a help to you for this particular one, just to see where all the stitches are. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start off with, and these ones are all going to be half double crochets as we move all the way up in this particular example. So let's begin. We're going to chain 2 and we're going to half double crochet into the first one. Okay, so there's your satisfaction of having the 2 on the ends that you always need for this particular one. So the next one is going to be a modified front post double crochet, and it's going to be around the next post. So here's the first one here, it's the next one. So we're going to wrap the hook twice and going into the front post, so just down in and then pop it back out the other side, yarn over, pull through. And this is the modified version of this. So you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're not done yet. And what you want to do is that you want to come to the same stitch that that post is part of that's currently empty, and you want to insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, and now you have 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. I'm going to show you this again, so don't you hesitate. So the next 2 are going to be half double crochets as normal. So the modified doesn't appear in every stitch. So we're going to do another modified. So how we do that is that we wrap the hook going into the next post that's empty. Okay, so it's empty, see there's no stitch on top. Coming in, yarn over, pull through. Okay, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, but do not finish it, and just insert your hook into the empty stitch that's on the top of that same post, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through. Okay, so the next one is going to be half double crochet. Okay, now we're in the middle of the base here. Okay, so the next 3 are going to be half double crochets together. So just yarn over, going in, pulling through and hold. Yarn over, going into the next one, pull through and hold. Yarn over, going to the next one, pull through and hold. There will be 7 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 7. And now we're going to move up. So there's going to be a total of 4 front post or modified front post double crochets going in the up direction, but we need to get our pattern established. So every time you're in the bottom here, there's always going to be 1 half double crochet that stands by itself before doing a front post, and then there's going to be 2 half double crochets front post, 2 half double crochets front post, and at the very top here there's going to be 1 half double crochet before the middle one here, and you can see it in the diagram as well. So the first one is going to be a front post, the first one's going to be a half double crochet, and now the next one is going to be a modified front post. So change, turn it twice. Okay, so yarn over twice and then pull through 2 and 2 and hold. Okay, don't finish it. Same stitch on the top of that, just insert in, pull through, and now you have 3 loops, pull through all 3. So the next 2 are going to be half double crochets. So 1 and 2. And now the next one is a front post. Okay, so just just wrap the hook twice going into the front post, pull through 2 and 2 and hold. Coming into the same stitch on the top of that, insert in, pull through all 3. Okay, the next 2 are going to be half double crochets, so 1 and 2, and now another front post modified, and coming in, pull through 2 and 2 and hold, and then into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3. We're getting close to the top, but we're not quite there yet, so we're still doing 2 half double crochets in a row. Just kind of use that topping point. I said that there's going to be 4 of these going all the way up. There's now 3, so I can tell that I'm trying to keep the pattern consistent. So the next one is a modified. Okay, and then the final one before you get to the middle one of the 3 is a half double crochet. So you can see that there's 3 here. The first one has your half double crochet. Here's your empty middle one, and that'll always be then 3 half double crochets in the top. Now we're going to go down in the other direction. So we're going to come down. So the first one's always going to be a half double crochet, and then we're going to start doing our modified. So there's 4 modifieds going up, and there will be 4 going down. So the next one is a modified. Okay, and the next two are half doubles. The next one's a modified, so wrap the hook twice. When you see the modified instructions written in a pattern, it makes you freak out, but when you actually get used to it and you see what to do, it's actually not so bad. So don't let the instructions fool you. So another one is a modified. Next one is modified here. So there's 4 of them going down. I'm just looking for that just to be consistent. So I got 3 in so far. The next 2 are half doubles each. Okay, next one is a modified. Okay, so then the last one is a half double crochet before you do the base. So there's always gonna be 1 half double crochet in before you do the turn in the bottom of a chevron. So you're just going to put these 3 next together. Okay, so if you're going in the up direction, then you'll start off, the first one will be a half double crochet, then a modified, and then 2 half doubles, modified, 2, modified, 2, modified, 1 by itself. You'll do the middle, and then when you're coming down the other side, it'll be 1 half double crochet, modified, 2 half doubles, modified, 2 half doubles, modified, 2 half doubles, modified, and then 1 half double crochet before you join them all together in the base. And then moving up the other side is that there's gonna be 1 half double crochet to start. The next one is a modified. So in the sides there will only be 2 modifieds showing. The next 2 are halves, 1 and 2. Okay, and you'll see that you got 2 posts left. The first one is a modified. And then the final stitch is gonna be 2 half double crochets into the turning chain. Okay, so if you're repeating this particular pattern, it needs 2 rows. We did 1 row of double crochet, and then the next row is a modified, and just like you see. So as I promised, see the stitch markers on the front side, so the modified appears on the front, because if you turn it around there is no modified on the back. So you gotta watch this one, making sure that your modifieds always stay to the front. So that's how you do a modified front post treble when it comes to doing waves, chevrons, or ripples. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. We'll see you. Bye bye.